One of the main reason why country Blumium struggle to develop and we're actually regressing because we are full of corruption is because most of our leaders are actually focused more on their political survival and they're managing politics instead of their electorate, province, or the nation as a whole. And I've done a little bit of research and brainstorming, so here's what I found out. Number one, during election campaigns, some of those candidates, by looking Molgat, it's like independent candidate tag, yeah, Muslim, they entirely fund themselves, all pay more nomination fee, all people will pay. And most of the campaigns, the majority of the funding comes from their own pocket. And usually these type of candidates are businessmen or some man who got established background stuff in this, and he has that financial power to fund this independent campaigner. On the other hand, we have candidates, sponsored candidates, sponsored by a political party or some other company or corporate sponsors, lots of gimal money, and something interesting happens with this kind of candidates. With political parties, we know because political parties have their own agenda and policies, blow stuff, and how they operate, and Taimana win what are the terms and conditions. All got blow let. That's how they operate. But blow sampler, we also get some sponsor outside of political parties. So let's say from some business houses or corporate lobbyists or kind of same. This law line, time all suppose all winning election. All tight rope neck penis. There's so many strings attached. So that once they get into power, they feel obliged to return the favor. Law line been sponsoring mole. So they try as much as possible to secure some inflated contracts na game golo company bestowed sponsors blow. If they're doing like illegal stuff like illegal logging or fishing or underpaying their workers or kind of some MPM but trying lo discretion blame lo covering tracks blow. So that is one thing that happens. So also managing this la politics blow, campaign blow, instead of focusing on the development of the people. So some of the time by look almost say, hey man, I'm no I don't blow come up, name stop long time labor. He's only building his own empire. Next um even all can get a good thing kind of same. And campaign time one black candidate. And but show him all good thing. Some of the best policies, even educated people maybe like an analyzing and look at now this guy is standing on business. But suppose this MP, I'm not got background blame, say I'm the loose man, I'm win, I'm going inside. Most of the times during government formation, you think I'm took like political camps to start here, blow incumbent government or regime and blow opposition alternate government. So time this la two plus side them start. That's when the political horse trading happens, or rather political prostitution, as some call it. Because some blow line also win this la time election, also act of semol to Kena Mary. And they always follow the highest bidder. Honestly, thinking of services or policies or looking one can reforms this like government but bring him to benefit the nation in the long run. Or look now so all Gimolombla V8 or all these handsome and lucrative perks and privileges that come with being on the government side. Or promise more some like ministerial roles, and they see like within this 5 years, first 5 years, they already have a picture of how their life is gonna be now by improving lifestyle. So when they think like that, obviously the people or their electorate becomes second or third priority thing. Or let them all go past now. So also talk like who cares? Like I'm still gonna get the DSIP, Mr. Government or opposition, but most of the times in opposition it's really hard to get your funds on time because also bottlenecking when they play a lot of politics with it. Anyways, number 2 reason. And the third one is while being on the government side, if you have a contradictory opinion, let's say, like on the bill or passim or kind of same, you can't really openly, debate or argue that bill in parliament. If you want to do so, you'll have to go or switch to the opposition side because that's what the opposition is for. You oppose the governments. And you basically scrutinize every government decision and provide constructive criticism. But some blood MPM also style of government side, even all got good blood thing. They had some sort of understanding time all been joining party. But once all kisim this logada, all incentives blow na all bribes all gimol or ministerial portfolios all kisim. Their voice is actually cancelled. You're not allowed to say anything because you are basically bought off. Let the big boys do the job. You focus the electorate do na you passive mouse national. Because if you say anything, I'm all about reprimanding you because they have some dirt on you, right? Or they can even delay your DSIP or kind of thing. Anyways, now fourth one and the last is the prime minister, the man himself. I'm thinking lo managing politics most of the times because obviously his government is not only made up of his political party. Usually, it's a coalition of two or more parties also forming government. Now, bet you that most of the time, second or third party all got people number two. So, man, I need to keep them all happy. You think, man? I must give them all ministerial portfolios or like him, one again contracts or all all key men below ground staff or contractors, inflated contracts, no following proper procurement process, lo give all slow, put him all contracts or slow worker or tender so all contractors can apply. That's what's happening with Connect PNG right now. Because Ogata man got one interest in sell up all these political parties as well as all corporate lobbyists behind Lolken. Ogatas are directly influencing how the funds are being um, what will I say allocated for development purposes, and most of the times we end up with inflated contracts. Anyways, so yes, there you have it. First, during campaign, candidates who don't have the money to sponsor themselves, most of the times are sponsored by other third party or sponsors number. Well, but nothing will return in favor. So when they get into power, they'll try as much as possible to give back to their sponsors. Number two, they can speak or not. They can speak. It's because of political horse trading or prostitution. During government formation, MPs usually are gravitated to the house that would provide them the greatest benefits for themselves, personal selfish reasons. Number three, they can speak up while on government side because of the fear of being reprimanded by their, uh, you know, superiors. Number four, PM is always looking over his shoulder for who might betray him. So M's are stressing him out. So most of the time, he doesn't really focus on national issues as a chief executive officer. I'm starting to manage him all political parties underneath the coalition, the government. So here are a few suggestions that I came up with to at least help minimize those problems. Number one, electoral commission needs to come down really hard on election campaign fraudsters, right? Online a bribe, na hijacking ballots, na rigging elections, charge him all 100,000 or hell even 500,000 kina fine. Because all that millions no local playing around on election or manipulating outcomes, bro. Anyways, not apply maybe even charge them or put them in prison for 10 years. Who gives a fuck? They deserve it. Next one, checking background all candidates good, right? Do they have any criminal records or are they polygamous? Because those are important factors to consider before allowing someone to contest. Because all got criminal records, especially theft, then they're more likely to steal while they're in office. Or if they are polygamous, no plenty marry or plenty man. And more but in pressures with this low lifestyle blow now, but finding ways low sourcing funds, public funds to funding this lifestyle blow. Anyways, Nara plus side, the background role to him. Lo electorate or province where all staff no contest lem. Making background research lab lo or leadership qualities blo na input blo inside of this la society or staff lem community. All help him lo making some little projects like or water projects or electricity projects or help him lo solving some like kind tribal conflicts or some good leadership qualities that will serve as their merit for their candidacy during elections. So electoral commission can look inside of this law now. At least them can get some like idea or background or so, and not just because someone has a degree or got business or no prior leadership experience. I think being a leader for a great nation like Papua New Guinea, where we got plenty of valuable resources, that we need good management and experienced people with good qualities. It's not something you just go and learn on the job. At least it must get some like prerequisite or qualities blah assess him merit blah. Anyways, number four, prime minister. the man himself. The prime minister must be elected by us, the people on the ground, not by any second or third parties, right? Because democracy means power of the people. So we have to elect uh, open MPs, the provincial MPs or governors, and the prime minister as well. Why not? If you can vote in Tubla Lotamblo, then the very important chief executive officer of the country, and you need Lumhaki, not some bunch of clowns acting on our behalf, supposedly also though. We're representing our people. No, most of the times, mind you, they do it for their selfish gains. Anyways, drop your 2 cents in the comments below and follow for more videos like this.